What if I told you that the story of capitalism, the system that controls how you work, how you shop, even how you think, is one of pirates, revolutions, steam engines, slaves, skyscrapers, and algorithms? This isn't just economics. It's the story of empires built and collapsed, of fortunes made overnight and lost just as fast. So sit back, because this is the entire history of capitalism. Let's go. Long before Wall Street, before factories, before billionaires, there were merchants, and money was starting to move in new ways. Back in the 13th and 14th century Europe, most people lived under feudalism. You didn't own your land, you worked it for a noble. Society was rigid. If you were born poor, you died poor. But things began to shift. In cities like Venice, Genoa, and Florence, a new class rose, the merchants. They traded spices, silks, metals, and started getting rich. Banking families like the Medici weren't just funding art and cathedrals. They were financing kings and wars. They invented tools like double-entry bookkeeping, which might not sound exciting, but it changed everything. It let people track profit, loss, debt, the foundation of modern finance. This was proto-capitalism, capitalism before it had a name. The 15th and 16th centuries? Game changer. Columbus sails west, the Americas are discovered, and a whole new world of resources opens up. Suddenly there's gold, silver, sugar, slaves. Europe goes into overdrive. Private companies like the Dutch East India Company and the British East India Company are born. The first multinational corporations in history. They had their own armies, their own ships. They could literally declare war, and did. In 1637, the Dutch Stock Exchange became the world's first modern market. People even traded tulip bulbs like crypto. During the tulip mania bubble, some bulbs cost more than houses. When it popped, people lost everything. Sound familiar? Then came the 18th and 19th centuries, when capitalism went from sailing ships to smokestacks. The Industrial Revolution hit, and it changed everything. Steam engines, power looms, machines that could do the work of 20 men. Entire factories ran 24/7, churning out goods faster, cheaper, and en masse. People flooded into cities, new working class, new lifestyle, wake up, punch in, get your wages, do it again tomorrow. But it wasn't all progress. There were 13-hour shifts, child labor, dangerous conditions. Workers died, bosses got rich. In the US, tycoons like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and JP Morgan built monopolies. Did you know? At his peak, Rockefeller was worth over $400 billion, adjusted for today, more than Elon or Bezos, combined. But not everyone was cheering. In 1848, a man named Karl Marx dropped a bomb, the Communist Manifesto. He said capitalism exploits the masses, that the rich get richer by squeezing the poor. That class struggle would eventually tear the system down. And soon, movements started rising. Protests, strikes, revolutions. The Russian Revolution in 1917, it wasn't just political, it was a full rejection of capitalism. They tried a new system, communism. Meanwhile, in the West, governments started giving in. Labor rights, unions, minimum wages, safety regulations. Capitalism was being pushed to ADAPT, or die. Then came the 1920s. The Roaring Twenties, jazz, parties, stock market booms, and then 1929, the crash. Banks failed, millions lost jobs, 1 in 4 Americans unemployed. It was the Great Depression, and capitalism was on life support. People lined up for food, some blamed the stock market, some blamed greed, some thought maybe Marx was right. But instead of scrapping the system, leaders reformed it. In the US, Franklin D. Roosevelt launched the New Deal. Jobs programs, Social Security, Wall Street regulation. A new idea emerged: Managed capitalism, free markets, but with guardrails. After World War II, the world split in two. The West, where it's led by the US, believed in capitalism. The East, where it led by the Soviet Union, went with communism. This wasn't just about nukes. It was about economic ideology. Two systems, two futures. Which one would deliver prosperity? By 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. Capitalism was declared the winner, but victory came with a price. The 1980s, Reagan, Thatcher, Wall Street, capitalism got turbocharged. They called it neoliberalism. Less government, more markets. Deregulate, privatize, let the market decide everything. Suddenly, factories moved overseas, trade exploded, products got cheaper, profits soared, but wages stagnant, inequality skyrocketed, and in 2008, it crashed again. The global financial crisis. Banks gambled, people lost homes, stock markets tanked, and once again, the government bailed out the banks. The people paid the price, while the CEOs got bonuses. Capitalism looked rigged. Today, capitalism is everywhere. You carry it in your pocket. Every advertisement, every swipe, every scroll, it's all monetized. Big tech, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, now control more wealth and data than some countries. This is surveillance capitalism. Your clicks, your likes, your habits, sold to advertisers. But new ideas are rising. Crypto tries to decentralize money. Green capitalism wants to profit from saving the planet. Universal basic income asks, what if we just paid people to exist? And Gen Z? They're questioning everything. The 9 to 5, billionaires, ownership, even money itself. So, what is capitalism? A system, a tool, a monster, a miracle? It's lifted billions out of poverty, sparked innovation, built the modern world. But it's also created massive inequality, destroyed nature, and left millions behind. Is it the best we've got? Or just the one we're used to? One thing's for sure, capitalism is not standing still. And its future? That's not up to history, it's up to us. Like, subscribe and comment below. What do you think comes next?